Oh, it's a lovely day in our neighborhood, a wonderful day in Springfield Hood. Should be my authentic human being. Hello, this is Springfield Johnny, also known as John Gregory Pesco. Welcome to my YouTube show, The Authentic Human Being Show. Now, the idea for this show originated in my novel, The Gideon Computer. You're having a morning coffee. I think the sun's about ready to rise out there. So Bill was talked into doing truck commercials, Ford truck commercials, by his friend Louis Dexter, because he looked just like Wild Bill Cody. He's the last hippie standing, and he's got one of those leather coats with, you know, the tassels, you know, this rawhide tassels down here, you know, the eagle. So he gets them, you know, down to L.A. because he's broke and poor and homeless again, and he's opens up with a, you know, this big vast truck lot, you know, new truck lot. You know, and he's up there on a Ford going, "Yee-haw, ride 'em cowboy." He's doing this, you know, hillbilly, you know. He's doing Phil Robertson, way before Phil Robertson thought about becoming an authentic human being, which he is and he isn't. We'll do Phil on another show. So I've been threatening to do a radio show, or you know, preferably radio show, but I think it's going to have to be a TV show. Maybe I can do a live feed. And well, sorry, I forgot to bring something here, because I was talking with my soul sister. We decided that's what we are, soul sisters from another planet. There's this great movie, Soul Brother from Another Planet. You know, well, we're soul sisters from another planet, and about 3 days ago, I was reminded of Kurt Vonnegut's Slapstick, and how we're like these brothers and sisters that have to be sequestered away because we have these huge brains. You know, especially when we get together, our brain just goes, you know. And we've already got a lot of info that's coming from somewhere, you know. Amy's convinced another planet. I'm still in love with this planet. I still, you know, we're an orb. We're on a ship, a giant orb, you know, circling, you know, flying around the universe, and you know, we're trying to make sense of it. You know, some of us are, most of us are terribly afraid of what people think of us. And this is where oh my God, you know, you're just, this planet's going, you know, 200,000 miles an hour, spinning around, another 200,000 miles. You know, people go, oh my God, oh, I wonder what people are thinking about me. I hope it's good. I better get on Facebook, you know. And there it is. They move, you know, in this like, you know, what do people think of me? Motions, this dance, you know. My friend Keith Purvis described it as a vast floor of ball bearings that are spinning, and basically we're, you know, trying to get on top of our ball bearing that keeps sucking us down into the, you know, the bottom side of the ball bearing pit that we're in, you know. There we are trying to, oh my God, are people thinking ill of me, you know? Well, the truth is, most people aren't thinking at all. You know, they're not, you know, using their brains. So if they, big brain, so if they don't focus in on you, or no, if they do focus in on you or don't focus on, what's the difference? You know, what kind of opinion are they going to form? So what I was going to do this morning was a book review of Charles J. Shields' biography of Kurt Vonnegut, and gosh, I just can't remember what that biography's called because I haven't read it, you know. And I've read some reviews of Charles's book. So basically, this is a pre-review based upon the reviews I've already read of Charles's book, the biography of Kurt Vonnegut. And yeah, is that ethical? Well, Charles unfriended me on Facebook a couple of days ago after soliciting ideas. He put this wood-burning motorcycle out there and said, hey, you know, let's write a story. Let's get a chain story going, you know. Here, I'll start it with this line, you know. Mediocre. Then I came in with how the town collected pieces of coal in old gunny sacks, you know, so he can go off, you know, have fuel for his car there. And then out in the desert, he'd rob holy water to put in his steam engine. You know, I called him the Holy Roller. Hell's Angels, Holy Roller. And I pretty much taken control, you know. Charles Shields' Facebook is, you know, where I don't know what the heck, nobody was really contributing. Here he is, an author who wrote a biography of a great, great writer who I love dearly. And he was a great influence upon my writing. And he especially came out in my novel, The Gideon Computer. So then he throws out this idea, who's going to write Lucia Joyce's biography? Wow, what is this? You know, who is he talking to? You know, so I go and look at his friends, and they're authors. You know, it's like there's a gang of these guys. You know, and I wish I'd looked at Charles's face-on picture of him, because on his Facebook he's kind of like got his back to, you know. Kind of like doing some writing, you know. You don't get to see his face. And when I saw it, I thought, my God, you know, that's the Undertaker, you know. This guy looks like the Undertaker. You know, and I thought, boom, there it was. I saw what was going on here, you know. It's like none of this new generation of writers, none of them are beats or bohemians or hippies or, you know, they've never been in an insane asylum, but, you know. But where they are is in the mortuary. You know, they're all sitting there and they're, you know, lined up, you know, like Woody Allen, you know, at the sperm ready to be shot out, you know, into the vagina. You know, who's going to handle Lucia's, you know? Okay, you, Y4, you're up, you know. And out the door goes mortuary guy number 44, and he's off to, you know, feed on another dead compatriot of mine. You know, oh, they're dead. We get to convert their dead bones into money. You know, I got a bag of sanity here. These bohemians, you know, want to make any money off their novels. They just want to write. You know, they want to get that crap that's in their brain out. You know. Into the world, you know, and they're just happy if someone looks at it. You know, I'm sure when Kurt Vonnegut, you know, hooked up with Charles, it was like, oh, he's coming. You know, he's, you know, knock, knock, knock. The Undertaker's here. You know, he's going, oh, I hope he doesn't judge me badly. What does Charles think? You know, because we're like that. We're, you know, I mean, we're more susceptible to that. What do people think of me? Thing than any, you know, writers and bohemian, you know, artists and writers. Yeah, and why that is really what I'm going to explore on this show, the Authentic Human Being show, because we get a hit of that. We get a big, strong dose of that, and for some reason, people say, "Yeah, he's an authentic bohemian, all right." Up against the wall, mother. You know, they take out your wallet. You know, take the deed to your land. You know, and it's back to the, you know, the Undertaker factory. You know, where these guys, they move like jackals. Or those African dogs. So, Linus is in the hunt. There's one there. Oh, look who died. Who's going to handle that guy? Who's going to, So anyway, I said to Charles, I says, when he put these, I said, Charles, you're pitching the ball, right, softly across my plate. I mean, do you mind, if I go with this, Oh, and I says, are you going to write the biography of Lucia Joyce? Oh, no, I'm not going to be doing that. Go ahead, John. Let's hear what you have to say, because I can already tell you're some kind of fucking nut, So, for the amusement of the boys in the back room, the Undertakers, there's these locust people, that I've done in the Midwest, another one of my books, So I start putting the stuff out there, and he's chortling, He's pointing things out. Check this guy out, And we're used to that, us bohemian thinkers. We're used to people chortling, laughing at us, thinking that if they label us crazy, then they can just take from everything we got, because they're the sane ones. See, the Undertakers are the sane ones. Death has happened. Death is real. Therefore, we have to have mortuaries. And they perform a service. They take the dead and they feed off the dead. And the grief of the people, the loved ones left behind. And that's another great movie, The Loved One, about an animal pet cemetery. So, after the chortling died down from the Undertakers, I came up with a profound idea that Lucia Joyce is stuck between two droll and dusty bookends. Sam Beckett and James Joyce, and there's the Finnegan's Wake there, which some people say that Lucia was the muse for her father's book that nobody could read, I'm sure there were critics and Undertakers in Joyce's time, James's time, that said, this guy's crazy. You can't read this book. What the fuck? This guy's ought to be in a funny farm, Well, that's where his daughter ended up, But through the evolution of time, all of a sudden, Finnegan's Wake is the most incredible novel ever written in the English language. See, the critics who work with the Undertakers, gotten together to raise James Joyce up in Finnegan's Wake up to the, the stratosphere. It's like the greatest book ever written, and it happens to be in the English language, and it, it's kind of like a trickle-down theory, But hey, nobody can read it except probably me and my other compatriots, especially the Bohemians that don't make any money off anything. And that was the big thing about being an authentic original hippie. We didn't like other hippies cashing in on what we were doing. We believed in free concerts, free everything, free food, free dope, free thinking, And this is why we're accused of inventing the internet. Through something like the Whole Earth Catalog, where we said, hey, why don't we just make this catalog of all these groovy things that would interest the counterculture, you know? And we'll be doing a big service for free, basically, where people can order things, you know, have material goods and aids to our counterculture lifestyle. So, well, Charles J. Shields unfriended me. You know, hit the button. You know, I asked for input, and now this person has given me too much. Push the button, you know. Whoosh, there goes, you know, 20 of my inputs and my ideas. Well, my gosh, what's the motive there? You know, I don't know the man. You know, after he's written, you know, this novel about Lucia in the sky with diamonds. And that's what I was saying, you know. You know, is that Lucia is really so much pressure is put on her to come up with her own avant-garde poem, you know, absurd poem, you know, write something absurd, Lucia, you know, you are my daughter, you know. So she meets Anton Artaud, the father of the modern theater, at the Moulin Rouge, and he's just come back from America, and he turns her on to peyote because he's actually had peyote with the peoples that used it, the Native Americans, in their ghost dance and other religious ceremonies. And so there is Lucia, her breakout moment. And Artaud is showing her some of the moves, you know, for the ghost dance. You know, and she's, you know, getting into it because she was a student of Isadora Duncan. And all of a sudden she goes on this vision quest, and she ends up on the floor of Fillmore West, you know, dancing to the Grateful Dead. The first Deadhead is born. It's a perfect vehicle. And this goes in with this idea, you know, I wanted to, while working on, about a big dance routine, 60s dance music routine to the group Love. And my generation of baby boomers want to see this. They want to, you know, they've seen Cats. That's pretty crazy. They want to see the greatest dance routine ever to hit Broadway. And that was my idea. Finnegan's Wake, a musical Broadway, you know. And you could hear the chuckles of the Undertaker, you know, and you know, getting ready to, you know, moving on this, you know, and Finnegan's Wake, that's so absurd. It's really absurd, John. You are so absurd. I said, well, you didn't understand that Artaud based his modern theater upon Balinese dancers? Huh? You didn't know that? And also, oh my God, we just made a fool of ourselves. This guy really knows his shit. It's not acid flashbacks. He really fucking understands things, you know. And he's throwing it right in our face, and he's making us look like little bad boys, you know, smoking little reefers behind the garage, you know. So, you know, I've got to delete that because that looks bad, you know. His agent, you know, is watching this stuff, you know, God, get rid of him, you know. Eject, you know, put it in the torpedo tubes, you know, whoosh, you know, there goes John and his idea, you know, because I've really shown this guy up. And he wrote Kurt Vonnegut's biography. See? But he's not a hip guy. He hates the hippies. He hates the beatniks and the bohemians. He curses the meat that feeds him. And he's cursing me right there on Facebook in front of our peers. See, because I'm a writer. I just don't have a book published. because I believe in giving my stuff away for free, because there's plenty more where that came from.